Have you ever seen a roof label of 4/12 or 12/12 and wondered what it means? I mean, don't worry, it's not a secret code. It's really simple once you see it, but it can affect so much about a house, from the style, the cost, drainage, and even how it feels inside. So, specifically, the slope of a roof is the roof pitch. So, the roof pitch is given as a slope, which is usually written as rise over run, which, bringing you back to old geometry in school, and you have rise over run, and then you create a triangle with that. And so it can sometimes be written as like 4:12, but it's saying the same thing. So it's 4 within 12. So you go up 4 inches over 12 inches, up 4 feet over 12 feet. It's generally given in inches though. And so there, that is giving you the slope of your roof. A lower slope, so 2 to 4-ish, is going to be much more stylistically modern. So you can think about the truly modern homes. Really, the modern is going to maybe even utilize flat, but just those little shed roofs that you see going kind of in the different directions, they generally are in the 2 to 4 and 12 pitch height. Something to keep in mind with those, if you're in a colder climate and you have a 4 and under, you may want to opt for a metal roof so that snow can get off of the roof. And that's just a little tidbit. Also, pay attention, like when you get down to the lower 2 and 12s, is that the manufacturer warranty on like composition shingles, they generally will have a requirement for slope. So if you know the whole house is going to be comp shingle roof and you know which brand you're going to go with, make sure that you're not voiding a warranty by going too shallow. Next would be medium. So it's about 5 and 12 to an 8 and 12, and that's a pretty standard traditional style look. It's a nice medium of the road as far as form and function. Sometimes you will see the bulk of the roof is that 5 and 12 to 8, somewhere in there, especially when you have long spans so that your roof's not getting way too tall. And then using little smaller roofs that are steeper in order to accomplish the look that you're going for. Because if you did the whole roof as a 12 and 12 and you had large spans, your roof's getting really tall. For every inch or every foot that you go over, you're going a foot up. So if you had a span of a 10-foot long wall, half of that, it's just going to be a 5-foot tall roof, and that's only 10 feet. Where are you going to have that small of a span? So, and then steep is 9 and 12 and plus. And you can get above 12 and 12. You can have 14 and 12. I think you can even do like 16 and 12, which just starts getting like as steep as your forehead. You just can't go backwards. So there is a limit, but you can get above 12 and 12. And so that's just saying, like if it's a 14 and 12, you're going up 14 inches over 12. It's a very steep line. And that's very dramatic. It adds attic space. So Victorians, that sort of thing, would really utilize that. It's steeper a lot. And the kind of French country, you see it a lot. And it's a more expensive to build. I know in my area, framers and roofers will charge you extra above like an 8 in order to roof it. They have to put supports to walk on. It's just a much more tedious job. So that's something to be inconsiderate of. And so a low slope you see in much more mild to hot climates. So that modern style, maybe not as much in the mountainous areas. They're going to have a little bit more of a steeper roof, and that's to shed the snow during the winter and wetter times. And so you can still get a modern look. That's when you see like the transitional, it's not truly flat, because you have to start to consider, where's this snow going to go? And also, snow is heavy. So if you're going for a pretty flat roof and it's not shedding anywhere, you have to account for all that potential weight. Aesthetically, if you're going to go for a 3 and 12, it's going to look much more modern than if you go a 12 and 12. It's going to be much more like a cottage or country. And so you kind of have to play with that with your style. So if you love a European or a European country style, or like versus a mountain chalet, if you love the European style, you want to go with a sharper, at least accents. So maybe you have a little bump out, you want to go really, really sharp just in that little portion so that you're getting that look that you're going for. Again, cost-wise, steeper is generally more expensive. And then interior space, if you have a higher vault, then there's space for lofts, storage, bonus trusses that you can have entire rooms within those trusses. So if you want to utilize some of that space and you don't have a height limitation, maybe a steeper roof is for you. So you will see it either as a fraction, so 4/12, or like 4:12. And so they're generally interchangeable. Sometimes you will see a symbol that is up over, it's just a triangle, and that is showing, it'll put like 4 here, 12 above, so it's showing you the actual rise and run. Sometimes you will see roof pitch done as a percentage. I don't see it very often, but it is possible and it has happened. It's mostly going to be in 12, something in 12 format. You can have a fraction of it as well. So it could be like 4.5 in 12. So up 4.5 inches over 12. And generally in a roof plan, there'll be an arrow, so showing which way is down. And then, it's not rocket science. It's bringing you back to old school geometry. I know if you're anything like me, you thought to yourself, I'm never going to use this. I'm never going to use rise over run to know a slope in my everyday life. And here I am, I do it on the daily. So that's just a fun feature that you're picking back up from old school times.